All right, so Giants Lions.
This is another game I like the Giants here. 3 points. It makes me a little worried that it's only 3 points. This is a team that's 7-2, playing well, runs the ball well. Um, let's see. Lions have not won two road games in a row in over 2 years. Okay,
Right,
and Lions have the second worst running defense in the league. Okay,
right.
so and Giants are running the ball well. So for me on this game, it's really the Giants +3. It's hard for me to see Lions winning the game. I feel like the Giants will cover. Over unders 45. Um, Lions have been scoring a lot of points, but same thing. It is going to be cold. It's in, whether it's windy, cold. I know the Giants will be running the ball as well. I don't think this is going to be a high scoring game, but I'm not 100% clear on the over under. I like the spread way more than the over under here in this game.
So yeah, you like Giants -3, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So Giants offensive line is 5.27, and their offensive skills players are at 5.93, so they're both in good category. The Giants defensive secondary is really healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And so is the Lions, but overall, I think we agree that the Giants are a better team.
Mm-hmm.
And the only liability is the defensive line of the Giants at 2.4. But they could be, I'm not sure how many points they've given up over the last, couple of games, but they could be they could be, they have a lot of depth at that area. So if you look at Lions, offensive line is 4.56 and offensive skills are at 6.68. So they're a little bit better from an offensive skills health and worse at the offensive line standpoint. And so, yeah, at the end of the day, all of their offensive side of the ball from a health
Mm-hmm.
standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's almost identical. Okay.
Right.
So they're healthy. So if you feel that, the Giants are good for -3 because they're the better team, then, that's what we go with
I mean,
because, the
basically,
data.
that
Yeah.
what Vegas is saying, this is a pick 'em game because they're getting 3 points, and you give 3 points to the home team automatically. Okay, that's what they factor in, right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so now one thing to think about, which doesn't still change my decision about the Giants, but 5 of the 7 wins for the Giants have been by um, 6 points or less. So they do
Okay.
play close games, but they win close games. But if this was 3.5, I would definitely want to buy a half a point here. But I could see them winning by, either 3, which would be a push, or hopefully
Right.
6 or 7.
Right. Right. Exactly.
So
What's the over under?
it's 30. Oh, sorry. 45.
So the over under is 45. The injury data doesn't really push us in any direction. The defensive line is kind of moderate,
Mm-hmm.
for the Giants at 2.4. However, it's going against the offense of the Lions, which is kind of anemic at times, right? So,
Yeah.
so I don't think that
The
really
Lions have put
pushes
up a
you
lot
anywhere.
of points, but I mean, we'd have to go back and look at it. But the Lions have put up a lot of points against bad teams too
Yeah.
at home.
So,
At home.
yeah,
So
again, let's stay away from the over-under
yeah.
number, and
Okay.
we like the Giants -3, right? That's the
Yep.
summary.
I
All
like
right,
that.
let's go to the next game.
That's one of my favorite bets was the Giants. So
Okay. All right, Ravens Panthers.
all right. So we got Carolina and the Ravens. It's Baltimore -13. Some places have it at -13.5. Okay. And the over under is 41.5. 13 points is a lot of points. Carolina has been playing some teams close. Um, they were going with Baker Mayfield this week. I think he's going to be a motivated player. Now, this game is in Baltimore. Uh, I know he was on a different team last year, but they did split. The Browns did split with them twice, so he does know. He has played them enough, played them in the same division for a long time, and so he understands that team and what he's going against. I just feel like 13 and a half points in the NFL is just a lot of points. Okay. And
That's a
so
lot of
for me,
points.
it's tough to take that. I don't care who it is. If that was KC playing them, I still would have a tough time taking that. And
Right.
so here, I feel like I like Carolina with the points. Okay.
Yep.
And
Okay.
the over under is 41 and a half. Let's look at the health, but just from a gut standpoint, I haven't looked at the weather yet, but I feel like um, the two teams will score. Carolina is running the ball great. They haven't missed McCaffrey. Okay, they haven't
Right.
missed a beat
Right.
without him. So they're running the ball. I do think they're getting a little healthier at receiver, but you can tell me that. I like the over at 41 and a half. Okay.
Okay. So it's right now you like Panthers plus 14,
Is it plus 14? Yeah, today when I looked at it, I
13
saw
and a half.
13 and 13 and a half.
Okay, that's fine. Plus 13 and a half. So that's what you like, right? So if you look, offensive skills players are optimal for the.
Right now, what I'm seeing is 13, and I'm seeing some 13 and a half, but mostly 13.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So 13 and a half to 13. I like that because look at the offensive skills players of the Panthers. It's
Mm-hmm.
7.82 optimal. So they're in great health. Okay. It's going against, however, a defensive line of optimal. So they may not have success running the football. However, their defensive secondary for the Ravens is at 5. So it's good, but it's not optimal, right? So the matchup between those health data points, 7.82 versus 5, does favor the Panthers. Offensive line is optimal for the Ravens. Look at that, 8.61.
Yes.
And offensive skills players are at 4.74. So their health is a little bit lower. So the Ravens may win this game, but the Panthers still will be below that 13-point delta, right? So I think this will support the fact that offensive line is great for the Ravens' health, and the offensive skills players is good but not great. Is kind of the key for the Panthers to maneuver within that 0 to 13 and a half loss, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, so the data does support taking the Panthers at 13 and a half plus 13 and a half. Now, the over under again is not supported under or over. So we stay
Mm-hmm.
that because the defensive lines are good. The defensive secondaries are pretty good. Even though it's 2.44 for the Ravens, you want if you're gonna take an over, you want both defenses to not be in really great health.
Mm-hmm.
But you just have a little bit on the secondary side. That's it. So the over under number is just we would stay away from.
Okay.
All right. So summary: take the Panthers plus 13 and a half.
Yes.
Okay. All righty. Let's get to the Commanders and Texans. This is our last 1 o'clock matchup. We're going to do the 4 o'clock games on the next episode. So this is going to be our last game that we talk about, my man.
Okay. So we got Texans at home, +3, over unders 41. For some reason, this is a tough one here. Texans are getting 3 points at home. I don't still trust the Commanders. Okay, even though I feel like the Texans have won one game, but it seems like they're playing hard and they play tough. And so um, I'm not strong on either side. I'm more curious to the report here, but I feel like um, I like the Texans with the points at home.
Okay.
Okay. And with the Commanders coming off of a huge win, I feel like they're set up for a letdown.
Okay. Okay.
And
Let's take a look
and
at the
then they
data.
also played what was their game? They played did they play Monday night, I believe, right?
Yes.
They
Yes.
played
They
Commanders
beat
played
the
Monday
Eagles.
night.
Yeah, they beat the
You know,
Eagles.
and Texans I believe Texans played I got to check it. I'm not sure if they were on a bye or not, but either they had an extra day, basically an extra day and a half, okay, from the time they finished. So I think that does matter here. And I feel like the Commanders are due a little bit of a letdown.
Okay,
And
so
so I would take, I like the Texans, but let's see what well, the Commanders are healthy.
Commanders are healthy. Yeah. So defensive secondary is really poor for the Texans, right? So 1.11. Defensive line is optimal for the Commanders, and secondary is optimal. Look at that, 9 and 8.89.
Yeah.
Offensive line is banged up for the Commanders. So they have decent health on the offensive skills players, but the offensive line is banged up. Pretty good, 6.47 for the Texans, and offensive line is 7.17. I think you can see what the liability is, which is the 1.11 defensive secondary for the Texans. So the question being is you like the Texans to cover in this. The question is how many points through the air? You know, because what's his name? What's the quarterback's name for the Commanders?
Heineke.
Heineke. I mean
Yeah.
that guy's on like a roll. You know, he's just kind of throwing it all over the place, right? And so the question is the data does not support the Texans covering. You know, but
Okay.
it just I mean, what are your
No, and
thoughts
I
there?
didn't
Does that
love this
change it?
game, but yeah,
Okay. You want to stay away from this game?
I'd stay
Because
away from it. What do you think about the over under then with this
what's the number
situation with the
again?
defensive second 41?
Yeah, so I like so it doesn't look I mean, depending upon, the defensive lines the defensive health scores for the Commanders are really good. The question is how good are they from a playing ability standpoint? Because the Commanders potentially can put up some points like they showed in against the Eagles right now.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, um, you know, do we expect the Commanders to score more than 20 points in this game? And what is your answer to that, based on what
Um,
you see here and what your thoughts are?
I would think they would get to over 20. They
Okay,
are playing indoors too
right.
In Houston.
And
So
and the Texans, will they get over? Would you say 41 is the number?
yeah, so do they get over 20?
Yeah.
Will they both get, can they
Will
both
they
get there?
both get
So
over 20? Yeah. That's and just by the look on your face, like it's just I don't think we like this game.
no,
We don't
no.
like it. All right.
I
So
mean,
our summary, we have distaste for this game. This is horrible.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
so I think our summary here is stay away. Stay away from
yes.
this game.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that, Doc.
All right, brother. It's great to talk to you. We will talk tomorrow when we do the 4 o'clock games and the Monday night game. But let's hope that our data and our combination efforts here win us a lot of money and everybody
Let's
else, right?
let's do it. Let's do it.
All right,
Big
brother.
week.
Take
See you,
care, man.
buddy.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.